From food to milk. How does a cow turn food into milk? A normal dairy cow can produce 9 gallons of milk every day, but to do that, they need to eat 100 pounds of food. That means an approximate mixture of 75 pounds of forage, like grass or silage, 20 pounds of grains such as corn or soybeans, and 5 pounds of vitamins and minerals. A cow's mouth is made for chewing. They chew for nearly 18 hours every day. Once food is swallowed, it moves through the esophagus and into the reticulum, where the cow creates a ball of food called a bolus, which is regurgitated or forced back up through the esophagus into the mouth for more chewing. A cow grinds the food again and again into smaller and smaller pieces. Cows chew a piece of cud or food that has been swallowed and regurgitated 50 times before it's swallowed, and another piece of cud is regurgitated. In a single day, a cow will regurgitate and chew about 60 pounds of food. The reticulum is for holding, agitating, and digesting food. It also catches things like metal the cow accidentally ingests. The walls of the reticulum look like honeycombs. Its main functions are to detect large food particles that need to be broken down further, and to regurgitate or force those particles back up the esophagus to the mouth so they can be chewed and swallowed again. Once food leaves the reticulum, it enters the rumen, the largest compartment of the stomach. It can hold 25 gallons of partially digested food. Its main job is to break down food. The rumen is an anaerobic environment, meaning it contains no oxygen, and it is where fermentation takes place. Fermentation allows for bacteria called microbes to attach to food particles and break food particles into nutrients which cows can use for growth and milk production. The rumen can change poor quality proteins like nitrogen in grasses to high quality proteins. To help this process, the rumen is very selective about how quickly particles can move from one stomach compartment to another. Foods that are harder to digest, like grasses or silage, remain in the rumen longer than easily digestible foods, like corn, so microbes can break them down further. The rumen has finger-like projections called papillae that increase the surface area on which microorganisms do their work. In one day, a cow can produce 20 gallons of saliva. The saliva helps to further break down food particles by softening the feed particles for the rumen microbes. Next, remaining food particles travel into the omasum. The omasum has many folds called plies that are like pages in a book and increase the omasum surface area. They help squeeze water out of the food particles. The remaining food particles continue to be broken down by enzymes and travel throughout the remaining part of the digestive system. After food leaves the omasum, it enters the abomasum, which is known as the true stomach because it closely resembles the stomach of an animal with one stomach compartment, such as a pig. Acids and enzymes in the abomasum mix with the food particles and break them down further before traveling into the small intestine, an organ that can be 20 times the length of the cow, about 160 feet. The nutrients that enter the small intestine are absorbed into the bloodstream, completing most of the digestive process. The last stop is the large intestine. Its main function is to absorb water, holding approximately 10 gallons. Any remaining food particles are excreted by the cow. After the digestive process breaks down the cow's food, nutrients from the food travel through the bloodstream where dairy cows can use them to create milk. Blood carries nutrients from the digested food to the cow's udder. The nutrients travel through smaller and smaller blood vessels until the nutrients are made into milk by alveoli. Alveoli are cells that form milk droplets. The milk droplets travel through ducts to the gland cistern, where milk droplets pool together and are held until the milk exits the cow at each milking. It takes almost 500 gallons of blood passing through the udder for each gallon of milk produced. And that's how a cow turns vitamins, minerals, grains, and forage into milk.